What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for live full-time reaction to Jablonec 2, Celtic 4 in the Czech Republic. This is live. You can ask your comments and you can put your comments and ask your questions in the live chat box below. You need to be subscribed to do so. So if you're not subscribed already, click the subscribe button below, and then you can contribute to the live chat. I'm joined tonight by Stacey, and we've got a Celtic Fans TV debut for Kevin. Guys, before we get into the football tonight, talking about the game, I want to start by talking about the good news today, that it looks like we'll be back at Celtic Park to full capacity next Thursday. But I need to talk about the club's decision to charge season ticket holders for the ticket to this game. Kevin, we'll start with you. After, 14, 15 months, 2 season tickets. I mean, I think there's around about 40,000 people who will have invested at least the best part of 1,200 quid into the club without going to a game for more than 500 days. 9,000 people who went to the Michelin game, who were lucky enough to get drawn out of the hat, got their European qualifier for free, and the 40-odd thousand who were just unlucky in that ballot. Are the club saying that 40,000 aren't to get a European qualifier included in their season ticket? Is that what they're saying here?
Yeah, it's a weird one. I did think it was a bit of an open goal. It could have been a gesture of goodwill as a thank you to the supporters of what we've had to put up with over the last, as you say, 15, 16 months. I do think it's the wrong decision. I'm sure they have their reasons. We have our reason for why we think it's wrong. But I do think it's a very much of a big missed opportunity to just reward the fans for not just season tickets. You've got to take into people will buy strips and not just buy the home, they'll buy the away, they'll buy the third kit as well. You know, they're constantly putting back into the club. All we're asking for is just a bit back. So I'm a little annoyed at that, but I'm not exactly surprised. I'm not exactly surprised.
Aye, of course we're not surprised, Stacey. I mean, after not being able to attend games for so long, it's the brass neck of the club to ask season ticket holders for money. And it's not that we're looking for something for nothing here. As I say, the season ticket holders have ploughed in at least the best part of 1,200 quid without a streaming service last season. And are we honestly believing that our free qualifier this season was a stream for the Michelin game? Is that acceptable added value?
I don't even know if there is such a thing as added value, be honest. You've seen over the last 15, 16 months what the supporters have went through. To them, to the club, like the kind of owners and whatever, they probably think it's just a business call. They think it's just for business reasons, getting money in. But to us, it's Celtic's our kind of club, it's our passion. We've been waiting 15, 16 months to go to a game, sitting behind, watching streams that probably don't even work most of the time. And all we want is a thank you just for our support, because we've been behind the club since day one, and we continue to do that. But we're getting the brunt of it. We're not getting anything in return. The fact that they've just said, look, you get to come back to Celtic Park, that's all well and good, because we've turned up in our thousands since day one. So what does that matter to us? All we're asking is for a bit of loyalty in return for what we do for them. Do you know? I think it's a terrible move for the club. I don't think it's not doing anything for the fans. And you can probably, for me personally, I'm a season ticket like everybody else. 4 ballots, not one single game I got to go to. What does that say? And there's probably other ones that have been in more than one game. So I think it's a terrible move by the club, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thinks it.
No, you're definitely not. And I think everyone's seen this opportunity today with the good news that the stadium could be full again next week as an opportunity to bring everyone together and an open goal for the club to get some credit in the bank with the supporters, to give an actual gesture of thanks. We hear words all the time. They thank us all the time in their statements, but there's very little action and very little real gestures behind that thanks. And I mean, we're not to believe that a £50 retail voucher that has to be spent with the club is actually a proper way of thanking the supporters who have ploughed an absolute fortune into the club and do this time and time again. But anyway, we'll get to the football. A 4-2 victory tonight, Kevin. What did you make of it overall?
It's a 4-2 victory, but we could have and probably should have made it easier for ourselves. I think there was some great highlights. I thought Furuhashi's goal was fantastic. He took it well. He played well. But there's other... Just at the back, the defence is shocking. I mean, we were opened up so easily for the first goal. Pilsar comes out of nowhere, a beautifully lob ball through. Beaton is all at sea. And then very much still. And then obviously Hart, okay, it's his debut, but he maybe could have came out for just a wee bit more. But I'm not going to lay too much of the blame at him for that. But I think it was just far too easy. And I think if we had an actual defender, it wouldn't have been like that, because I think Starfelt still doesn't look comfortable, but I don't think many defenders would look comfortable with a non-defender at their back four. And we need to address this. And this is now going on to our fourth European game on Thursday, and there's still little to no sign of another defender coming. Obviously, there's reports, but we need reports turning into actual signings.
Yeah, aye, absolutely. Stacey, we did get off to a good start in the game. Lee Labada got another goal, a low cross for Greg Taylor on the rebound again, relatively similar to his first goal actually. What did you make of his performance tonight?
I've liked him since day one. I think he's very good in the wing. He looks confident. He's got pace, well, not too much pace, but he's direct, which we don't seem to have these days on kind of the wings, apart from James Forrest. But he looks confident. He looks as though he can take a man on, which we don't not had in a while yet either. He took his goal confidently. He seems up for the challenge, which, so, let's be honest, not since last season, not anybody was at all. He seems to want to take people on. He seems he's in the mood to go and score goals, which is what you need by a winger up front. See with Kyogo, he looks fantastic. Seems to find in nice positions, and when he goes into kind of at striker mode, which we was playing tonight, seemed to link up pretty good as well. But Abada's the one that stood out for me in the game tonight. The defence, we know we can go on and on, but I want to focus with Abada. He just looks very, very confident. I think we can see that there's a player there, and there's still loads of positions that need filled, especially backline. Greg Taylor, I just don't know why he's at the club. He's just not performing that level he should be. Same with Ralston, give him credit. He's been good the last couple of games, but Abada looks like a real player there. He just needs to stay consistent, which a lot of players need to do now, stay consistent, get more players in, and then take on from there.
Yeah, Abada was good again tonight. I think you can tell that there's a player in there, and he's got a lot more developing to do as well, Kevin. But you've already touched on Kyogo's goal. I thought his movement tonight, for all the time he was in the pitch, his movement is brilliant. You can tell that he takes up these positions. His runs are brilliant. There's a couple of times actually tonight where he got in a great position and nobody could find him, or nobody could lift their head and find him. But the first touch for the goal and then the wee dink over the keeper, I mean, that is the sign of a good technical footballer.
I mean, that's what you just took the words out of my mouth of that first touch, just to take it away from the defender. But he's also just done that, obviously, just to let himself dink it over the keeper. And I actually thought it was more of a deflection when it went in. Then when I saw the replay, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic goal. It seems to be that, as Stacey touched on, we've got two really good players in Abada and Furuhashi, and we hope that they can kick on, and hopefully against Dundee that they can come on to maybe bigger and better things. I do think though that the best player tonight was Abada. He was everywhere, and he certainly got about, and because he had a couple of chances, and it was very much. He probably could have scored more, when he had a couple of, when he was getting in about the spaces. But I think as much as it was good, and we have to take into consideration it was against Jablonec, who did only finish third in the Czech league behind Slavia and Sparta Prague, we still need to address the defensive options. That's what we need to come back to, because I don't think we will get away with defensive performances like that if we do progress against AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah, I think the defence is the big weakness for us, Stacey. You can see that both goals we concede tonight, and you've mentioned the fullbacks already, but I thought the centre halves tonight, particularly near Beaton, ball watching for the first goal, really, really poor. And I honestly feel like right now you could put Ederson in goals for Celtic, and if he was left as exposed as Joe Hart was tonight, then he'd look hopeless as well.
Yeah, you've touched on it there. Because of the formation we're playing, it's all tagging-minded. Once you get to that point and then they take the ball off you, they're just going to throw over the top, and that's what you could see tonight. Beaton was in no man's land at all. Same with Starfelt. I think he looks shaky. It doesn't look confident. I know he's only been here a wee while, but he needs to get a grip with the actual system, because you can see he's obviously trying his hardest to pass it out, but he stutters. Same with Sorrow as well. I thought Sorrow wasn't his best game. He's nice tossing and turning, like changing and try to go forward, but he takes too far many touches instead of just going forward. And I thought Turnbull was, don't know what's happened to him at the start of the season. He's not turned up. He keeps losing the ball possession. But regards to the back line, that needs to get addressed pretty quick, because it's going to cost us in the long run if we don't get people in. You can see that they're trying, but it's not coming off. I don't know why, like I said, I don't know why Welsh wasn't playing in front of Beaton. Beaton's too slow. He's been in the club a number of years, but he isn't getting any better. We need improvement, I think. We can see it. It's all fair to see, but it's all well and well. But you've got to remember, in Europe, we're still competing for European football, and that's what I think they need to remember. Because John Hartson touched on it, playing for the back is all well and good, but you need to be good at playing for the back. Because you can see they're getting caught far too many times playing for the back, because people are just go man for man and pressing them down very quickly. So they need to kind of watch what they're doing in that sense. But I think they need to address pretty quick, because you can see that they're giving a bit the balls away and they're getting caught out far too easily. You've seen it for the first goal, right over the top, and he was in straight away. Joe Hart was in, couldn't do anything about it, to be honest. But I don't think it's the strongest, and they need to address it pretty quick.
Absolutely. I think, as I say, both centre halves looked shaky at times tonight. I think with the first goal, Beaton can see Pilar making the move in front of him, but he's not. He does not watch him. He doesn't make eye contact with him at all, or his run. He's just watching the ball, and by the time the ball's over the top of him, it's too late. On the flip side tonight, Kevin, we scored 4 goals. Could we have had 7, 8? Like, I'd just like to see us be a bit more ruthless.
I think that the most 2 glaring opportunities were Turnbull with 6 minutes gone. I mean, I think if he puts that either side of the goalkeeper, we've got off to a great start, and you're just thinking, it's as if Turnbull just needs something good to go for him, and then he'll kick on. Maybe we were just riding high on the wave of last year whereby he was a bit of a shining light, so he needs something good to happen just to maybe kick on this season. And then Kyogo, right at the start of the second half, channeling his inner Harold Bratback at Tynecastle so many years ago, blasting it over the bar. So, I mean, it could have been so much comfortable, but it's still a European tie. It's still away from home. It's still 4-2, and we've got hopefully a packed paradise to go back to. So it's not all doom and gloom, but, you know, it keeps coming back to we need reinforcements. If we want to be challenging, we need to get people in.
Aye, absolutely. I had Kyogo for a hat-trick tonight, so I was absolutely gutted when he placed that over the bar. Stacey, so important though to put all the negatives to one side for a minute to get a victory tonight off the back of back-to-back defeats to Midtjylland and Hearts. So important for Postecoglou to get his first competitive win and sort of raise the mood about the place. Yeah,
it was very, very important we got that win, and having that 2-goal cushion makes all the difference, I think, because if you went into that with a 3-2, then it's all open. It's fair playing, and even though we've got hopefully a full capacity, it still gives you that wee bit of doubt going into that. But the fact that you get the 2-goal cushion, which was very timely, especially when Forrest pulled over for Christie, and Christie got a good header, which, by the way, I think he should start the next game. I think he should be ahead of Turnbull, because you can see from the start at the beginning, he's had a new lease of life. He looks confident. He's picking the pockets in the midfield. He's playing forward passes. So it was a great victory. And it takes us forward into the next game at hopefully a full packed paradise, and we'll obviously play our part in that game, and we should go on and kick on and hopefully get a few more goals. And it was good to see Edward drop, to be honest. I love Edward, but you can see he's not his game, and Kyogo came in, made such a difference, a badass. So I'd probably stick with formation going into next week. I'd maybe drop, like I said, probably Beaton and start Welsh, if I'm being totally honest. Because that's probably the best formation we could get, and stick Christian as well. But having that 2-goal cushion, it makes it much more a difference, and we should go on and kick on for the next leg.
Yeah. Kevin, you made a 90s reference there with Harold Bratback. Am I right in saying that diving header was almost Larsson-esque for Ryan Christie?
I would be inclined to agree with you there. Yeah, I mean, it was an absolutely superb header, but you've also got to credit the assist by Forrest. Aye. And then even back to Ralston, who maybe didn't have the greatest game tonight. I mean, it was a great throw-in, just to even get it over the player, then on to Forrest, and then Christie was more determined to get there. And I think he's certainly, as Stacey said, he's put forward his case to start. It will be interesting to see whether maybe James McCarthy comes into the scene maybe on Sunday, maybe not starting, but I'd like to see him just how he is, because obviously, as I think you alluded to, the longest transfer ever in history has finally came to fruition. So it will be, as I say, interesting to see if they, if he makes an appearance. But I think, Ralston is never going to be the answer. I'm struggling to see where we're going to see who the answer is, but he done what he could tonight, but he was definitely caught out for that third goal. Second goal. Sorry, second goal. My apologies. The second goal, because he was all at sea, and Starfelt had to juggle back from. But I do not know what Beaton was doing. I thought he could have maybe cleared the ball before he got there. Just the way I was looking at it, but it is what it is. So, yeah, but it's. We are where we are with the defensive options.
Yeah, that's it. I think James Forrest, Stacey tonight, a goal and an assist. That's what he does. Good to see him. I think finding a bit of sharpness now because he was out for so long, and he did play well tonight, and he made the difference.
Yeah, he did. We needed that goal, to be honest, to kill it off. But you can see he's finally getting back to sharp fitness. He's contributing as like he always does, but he's to me he's better on the right hand side. But because of formation with Abada, we've got to kind of compensate for him. But you can see the difference he makes to the team when he's there. We missed him all last season when he was injured. With him in the team, you can see the link up play is better as well when going forward. You can see that the players are always looking for him because he knows that he can do something going forward. You can see how much he's enjoying being back at the club. You can see how much he's enjoying playing again. We just need for him to stay fit and consistent, and I'm sure he'll contribute a lot this season because you miss him when he's not there, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've seen that at times last season. So hopefully James Forrest can really kick on from here. That'll do us for the full-time reaction tonight. A good win in the end over in the Czech Republic, and back to a full house at Celtic Park next week. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you shortly for the Twitter reaction. So jump over, probably on about half an hour. So join us for that. Cheers.